After 25 years, Oda just revealed Roronoa Zoro's parents in NSBS of all places. And what do we know? We were right.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
Using our balls deep prediction hockey, we broke down how Zoro is related to Uchimaru Shimotsuki, making him a direct descendant of Ryuma the Sword God over a year ago. Oda has confirmed ours and our community's theory of Zoro's family tree, revealing the identity of his father being Roronoa Arashi and Zoro's mother Terra. All of you chads who have subscribed with the notification bell on should have already watched the video from a year ago where we go over all the hints laid out throughout the story. But today we are going to break down this family tree, explaining what it means for Zoro, as Oda has thematically ingrained the idea of reincarnated will through his character. We see this with Luffy being Sun God Nika, and in a way, the reincarnation of Joy Boy. Let's also not forget Shirahoshi, who is also the reincarnation of Poseidon. We also see this with every other D member carrying the inherited will, where the essence of Haki allows feelings and dreams to transcend through time. And now, Zoro's heritage will prove how he will become the new sword god of this era. Zoro's lineage starts over hundreds of years ago with Shimotsuki Ryuma, a legend who till this day is heralded as a deity in Wano. There's even a superstition that without his black sword Susui, misfortune will befall Wano, and they weren't wrong. Just look at what happened after Moria stole the sword over 2 decades ago. That's why Hiyori traded Odin's Enma for Zoro's Susui. Now, this lineage already gives our boy some big shoes to fill, as he wasn't just the best swordsman like Mihawk, but known as a kami of swordsmanship. Zoro is already on his way to become a legendary swordsman like his ancestor, as he too was able to damage a dragon. I'm sure once his Conqueror's Haki usage is fully refined, he will be slaying Kaido level threats left and right, just like Ryuma. I will explain more about Zoro's true strength and next tier of power in just a second, but first we need to go back in time to 55 years ago, where Shimotsuki Kozuburo gifted Enma to Odin and yeeted out of Wano with 25 other people. Yes, my man didn't go alone. In fact, knowing that this was just a big crime, I'm guessing every samurai we see outside of Wano might have been descended from these people. I'm talking about Fujitora, Green Bull, and yes, even you! Amongst them was a girl named Furiko, who was the older sister of Shimotsuki Ushimaru, the former daimyo of Ringo and the guy who gave food to a starving Yamato in Kaido's prison. Now, when this guy was revealed, a lot of the community thought he was Zoro's dad, but he's actually his great uncle, making Furiko Zoro's grandmother. The community thinking he was Zoro's dad wasn't that far-fetched, as in chapter 1023, Hyogoro and Kawamatsu both say that Zoro's fighting reminds them of Ushimaru when he was young. They also say how Zoro returning Susui might just be fate, as it is Ryuma's sword. Even when we see Ryuma's design for the first time, he has similar scars to Zoro, and they practically look like twins. Let's be honest, just look at them two, side by side.
They're the same picture.
This tells us that Oda has been planting seeds for this reveal since the beginning. One more hint to Zoro being a Shimotsuki was that the word Shimotsuki translates to month of the frost, where both readings use the same kanji. The month of the frost is the traditional name for November in Japanese, and just so it happens, in the SBS of volume 15, before fans were the ones deciding characters' birthdays, Zoro's birthday was revealed to be November 11th. But anyways, 3 years into their voyage away from Wano, the samurai saved a village from a group of bandits in the East Blue, and 10 of the members decided to settle there and established Shimotsuki Village. So here is when the real fun started. Kozuburo married a random village girl and had a son named Koshiro, who is none other than Zoro's dojo master. He then married a random person and gave birth to Kuina Shimotsuki. While on the other side of the family, Furiko got together with a village swordsman named Roronoa Pinzoro. Hence why Zoro's family name isn't Shimotsuki but Roronoa. Pinzoro's name actually holds some significance, as it's not just Zoro with a pin on his head. Pinzoro is a gambling term meaning snake eyes. Throughout the series, swordsmen and gambling go hand in hand, especially with top tier ones like Fujitora and Rayleigh. So Zoro's grandpa's name could be a hint suggesting he was a strong swordsman too. Zoro's grandpa even has a connection with Hawkeye, as snakes fall prey to hawks. It could be like a Hawkeye is stronger than Snake Eye. Together, they had a son named Roronoa Arashi, who in turn married the daughter of a known criminal named Terra. Arashi was a strong man who fought pirates, but his marriage had tainted his family line, and when Zoro was born, his mother's reputation followed him. Sadly, to add to Zoro's hard upbringing, both his parents would die, leaving him an orphan. His father died to pirates, which could be one of the underlying reasons for Zoro making money through pirate hunting at the start of the series. But his mother didn't have a glamorous death, as she died of illness. One thing to note about Zoro's parents' names is that Arashi means storm in Japanese, and Terra means Buddhist temple or earth in Latin. So Zoro is the result of storm and earth meeting. Zoro's mother's name relating to the earth and Buddhism could also be one of the keys to explaining his Ashura Demon Lord powers. Because even if it is a manifestation of Zoro's unconscious conqueror's haki, why does it take the shape of a freaking demon god? To be able to mold your haki into this, Zoro must have had some kind of innate knowledge of this silhouette, which he gained from his mother's side. Their names play a greater role in showing us the divide between Zoro's parents. His mother was descended from a criminal, while his father from a long line of dutiful, honorable samurai who fought pirates. It's like the meeting of two worlds. Either way, Zoro's father must have been strong. With the Shimotsuki genes, he couldn't have lost to some random pirates, especially since he likely got similar training to his cousin Koshiboro, the dojo master. This brought the idea within the community that Zoro's father might have been killed by Mihawk. Why? Well, because the first time we hear about Mihawk is in chapter 49 called Arashi, meaning storm. All this time, Zoro's hunt for Mihawk was to fulfill the promise of becoming the strongest swordsman for both himself and Kuina. But there could have also been a hidden meaning. Zoro might not even know these threads that connects him with his greatest rival. This reveal makes so much sense when it comes to some of Zoro's feats, especially the cursed blades choosing him. You think anyone can tame monstrous swords like Enma? Like, come on. Even how easily he was able to extract Susui's potential was all because the blood of Ryuma and the samurais flows through his veins. Their lineage also explains Kuina's monstrous swordsmanship skills, where she was able to defeat adult tier dojo fighters at such a young age. You and I were born flying, but Zoro's family were born slicing. Alright? But with this reveal of Zoro's family, Oda gave us a sneaky little hint at the end of this family tree. He asks us, the readers, what does this all mean? This is a strange and mysterious story of fate that even Zoro himself doesn't know about. Now you're probably saying,
ABD is just hyping up the reveal and what's coming for Zoro in the story. You can't be going balls deep on that.
Well, you see, this statement by Oda might have just revealed the biggest secret about Zoro, that he is the reincarnation of the Sword God. Just like Shirahoshi was professed to be born 16 years ago, just like Luffy carries the will of Joy Boy, Zoro too, through his ancestor Ryuma, will become the Sword God of the current era. And now that Zoro has unlocked his Conqueror's Haki, it won't be long till he, like Luffy, will learn to imbue it with Ryo, allowing Zoro to deal damage on a different level. But from the legend of Ryuma, we can also deduce that Zoro's growth will not just be due to his skills and enhancement of his haki. Like, come on, it's obvious by now that Zoro's armament, along with his observation haki, will ascend to tier 3. In fact, he might just open his left eye and reveal a double iris. Huh? Yup, Zoro will learn to imbue his observation haki, focusing it on a singular point, his left eye. If you guys want to learn about that theory, then watch this video next. But regardless of Zoro's own personal growth, the biggest reveal from his godlike heritage is his relationship with his sword. Damn! Wait, no, not that type of relationship. Calm down, alright? But it could be, okay? It could be.
Stop it. Get some help.
We all know swords have personalities and a will of their own. We saw this through Zoro commenting on how feisty his Sandai Kitetsu is, or how hard the Black Blade Susui is to control. And let's not forget how Enma turned his hand into a stick when it wasn't satisfied with Zoro's level of haki. To understand his blades, Zoro will have to learn to speak to them, where this power will be similar to the voice of all things. You either have this in you or you don't. And even if you do, affinity between the wills is important. This could be also why Luffy can only hear other creatures like the Sea Kings and Zunisha, but isn't able to fully communicate with them. Over time, Zoro will keep imbuing his will onto these swords, and he will mold their personalities to his image. Everything for Zoro has been leading to this final evolution, where through his lineage, he will be able to hear the voice of all things around him, but also the voices of his sword. Finally being able to name his Zanpakuto toes and unlocking his true Bankai. But if you want to learn more about Zoro, then click the video on screen right now where we explain how Zoro and Sanji are gonna get their new powers through Vegapunk. He's gonna unlock their powers. Go check it out.